Hello everybody and welcome to another video on KhaldorTV with more Heroes of the Storm. We are at the ZOTAC final. We are actually going into the best of 3 series between Fnatic and Virtus Pro, and this is going to be a fun one, I can already promise you that much. In this case we're seeing Virtus Pro, again of course the Russians with an aggressive lineup here, ZOTAC and Abathur on this map. And of course if you have an Abathur then you are also trying to rely a lot on the XP soaking, but especially with the ZOTAC you have an option to just go for double ZOTAC aggression during those fights, and even just that symbiote and ZOTAC helps him with the additional damage. For the range damage we have Vala now in this case on the side of the Russian team, and we're having a single tank which is actually Arthur's. But on the side of Fnatic it's a little bit different. They are currently running this not only with a Khaldor, but they also have Leoric, they have a Muradin, he has a really beefy front line, and also a hero with Leoric that can push these waves back. But when it comes to damage, then they're running a Khaldor here and Raynor. And Raynor of course is a really tough hero in the later stages of the game. There's a lot of ways how you can play him on a map like Battlefield of Eternity. You can go into Seasoned Marksman. The progression is of course going to be a bit slower, but it's still going to be there. Or you can just simply go on level 1 into Give Me More, which allows you to have a bit more sustain. Either way, he's a very good hero, especially in the later stage of the game when he has that extra damage talent, level 13 for example, where he can go simply into Giant Killer, which is going to put a lot of pressure onto a hero like Arthur's. So both of the teams with a really good setup here for map number 1. And well guys, let's just go into the first game without further ado. Battlefield of Eternity, Fnatic versus Virtus Pro. The grand final of the ZOTAC Cup, everybody! Fnatic versus Virtus Pro. A best of 3 series here, played with a start on Battlefield of Eternity, and I am expecting a great series from these two teams. They want to win the grand final here, and we've already today seen some Rexxar action on the side of Fnatic. Not so in this game, but I feel like throughout the best of 3 series there's a chance that that's going to happen again. To the left side now for Fnatic we have Lowell on Leoric, we're seeing Wooby on Raynor, so once again it is Jimmy. Kazel is playing Karazim here. Breeze on Muradin, and Mane back on the assassin role is playing Khaldor, one of his best heroes. To the right side of the map, the Russians with Andilendi on Vala, Sefkaja on ZOTAC. We have Unstable playing Uther, Arthur's played by BKB, and Kuni-chan on Abathur here. Abathur has a couple of really nice roles on this map in particular, and of course you can get a lot of extra experience if you play it right. Kazel already rocking his Karazim here on the doubloon. And if you're looking at the level 1 talents, we still have the Seasoned Marksman taken for Raynor. This is one of those maps where you do not really have to go into Seasoned Marksman. You can actually decide to go into Give Me More instead. It's one of those maps where rotations between lanes is not really easy, and well, it's actually impossible. So that's not going to happen. Oftentimes when you go for Seasoned Marksman, you're trying to go, for example, onto Tomb the Spider Queen, or even like Dragonshire, where you can rotate early on between 2 lanes. You can't really do that on Battlefield of Eternity, but it's still a pretty solid play if you are opting for the late game, and Seasoned Marksman Raynor is going to put a lot of pressure on the tanks. And as you can see in this case, Virtus Pro is running this with a solo tank who has a lot of support from Uther and also Abathur, but it means at the same time that it's going to be a great target for Raynor, especially since there's no imposing presence on Arthur's. So that's something where Wooby is going to get a lot of damage out there later on, and probably one of the reasons why they went into Raynor after all there. So at this point we're currently seeing for the level 1 talents also Reach taken. That's pretty nice when you're going into the Immortal fight and ZOTAC is going to try and jump in and needs a quick heal there. Up to the top lane we're having Abathur soaking the lane against Lowell, and that's of course one of the things where Kuni-chan is going to have to try and make sure that he is getting all that experience soaked lane. I'm really liking how he's changing positions here in such fashion. Always putting the mines, the toxicness in the situations, or like in positions where it's pretty difficult for the opponent to move in. Kuni-chan relays every single time that Locust appears, he's moving back away again, and now he's helping Sefka to put some pressure on Leoric. But the rest of the 2 teams is already going straight for the Immortal. In this case it's the red team's Immortal that is being attacked first, but Abathur is still soaking experience up the top lane, and this is one of the things that really it's just like one of the biggest assets of Abathur, that split push experience. So it kind of forces the opponent to always have a hero close to the lane so that you can still get the experience. Breeze and Kazel are getting rather low here. The bot lane, we have Leoric moving in, doing Leoric things, trying to secure not only experience but also push the waves back. BKB is already putting some pressure onto the blue Immortal, but we're seeing up to the top lane against this play with Fnatic now trying to push the entire wave back with 3 of their heroes. Very nice commitment here, but I'm really liking the way that Kuni-chan is currently playing that Avatar. That's kind of fun. We have a multi-shot build, by the way, for Vala, which has seen a huge increase of usage after the Koreans were using it at PAX Prime. Also, Arsenal used it. Whoopi low and locked down. Positioning with Reyna is extremely important, and you need to make sure that he's never at the front line if you really want to make sure that he doesn't die. And in this case, Whoopi a bit too far out and he gets punished for it. We already have the Boundless Conviction of Uther taken. It's just another talent that works very well when you already use Reach, because you get all of your heals in from a safe distance. The blue Immortal is losing a lot more hit points. BKB is using the level 4 talent, his Destruction, together with, of course, Frostman, and you can really tell that it's starting to do some solid work. Of course, have now also the 2 camps active, and Fnatic is actually rotating towards the camp, trying to take those. Experience is still very much the same. The Immortal is rather low, but they are just now about to start position, and as long as they can prolong the fight in the middle a bit while their camp is still pushing, they're in a really good spot to get a lot more out of this than Virtus Pro, and that's what they're trying to do here. We have Muradin going into a Reverberation build, as you can tell. Again, the focus on the blue team's Immortal, and both of them are just ignoring each other and are trying to burst them down faster. Apparently, Fnatic accepting that they are not going to win the first objective here. I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest. I really thought they would be trying to prolong the fight for the Immortal a bit more, so that their own wave down here, the hard camp, the Bruiser camp, could do a bit more damage. But now it's already taken out by Virtus Pro. So, not quite sure if that was really the best play there for them. If they prolong the entire thing, then there's a lot of pressure against Kuni-chan on Abathur at the bot lane. Wouldn't have been in the fights, would have been more difficult for him, but I suppose there's always the risk that they are getting too much experience out of this. Lowell goes away, has of course the Hardened Bones on level 4. At the top lane, the Immortal is already defeated against. And this is like the early game Immortal, right? So like early game, it's like, whatever. The first Immortal usually doesn't really do too much. It's more about how much can that quad push at the bot lane really pressure your lane and take down your structures when that happens. The teams are now on level 7, at least Virtus Pro is, and that allows them to go on Zeratul into follow through after focused attack. So we still have like that Regeneration Master talent on Zeratul, which is actually like getting a bit more popular, that Zeratul players go more for sustainy builds than damage. He could have gone for first aid on level 7 and on level 1, just instead of Regeneration Master, used Seasoned Marksman, which might have been also a possible play for him. In this case, though, he decided to go for this one in particular. Fight or Flight now taken. That's also kind of interesting to see on Reyna. Oftentimes we are seeing different talents here. Revolution Overdrive is really popular, of course, on him as well. But yeah, for now, they're using Fight or Flight here on level 7 with Echo of Heaven taken by Karazhan. And the Ghastly Reach taken on Leoric. Ghastly Reach now, of course, helping him also to get a lot of like area in those fights and hitting maybe like 1 or 2 more targets when it comes to the heroes. But there's a huge pressure planer to the top lane with that camp that was taken by Virtus Pro. They went into their own Bruiser camp, and we have them now starting to really put that to some use. Already the level 1 and level 4 talents with Pressurized Glance and Adrenal Overlord, and Bile Nest on level 7 now by Abathur. Could have gotten into a Mule maybe even, but Mule is actually kind of nice on this map as well, but he just wants to make sure that he has those mines all over the place. And down to the bot lane, we're seeing Leoric, of course, just trying to get away since he realizes that there is a rotation headed his way. But with BKB and Sevka just now moving in, there's very little that they can actually do about this. Killing Leoric is super difficult in these scenarios when you're just trying to go for a gank, and it's also very difficult really to get a whole lot of value out of it because his death timer is just always going to be super low. But we have the Immortals back in play, and with that happening, there's also a slight lead in experience for Virtus Pro. They're trying to use that down here at the bot lane to get even farther ahead and maybe hit level 10 faster. There's a chance for Fnatic to maybe move in and take at least one of these towers down. That's extra experience that would drop for them, and it looks like they are trying to get this camp down here. But Abathur has a mine in position. I'm really liking the play that we're seeing from Kuni-chan, securing himself vision on all the important strategical important points on the map. The camp is still going to be taken, but it is allowing now Virtus Pro to pressure that Immortal and burst it down to half health. So they have the knowledge of what exactly is going on, and like knowing where your opponent is positioned is really half the battle. The top lane pressure from Lowell is being being met with a quick attack there. Lowell will fall. He will fall here. So we have level 10 for both of the teams at the same time. Pressure down here at the bot lane with one tower already taken out, and it looks like they are going to try and defend here. We're seeing as the heroic abilities on the side of the blue team of Fnatic, the March of the Black King. We have also now the Hyperion plus Divine Palm, Phoenix and Avatar. And for Virtus Pro we are seeing Strafe, Void Prison. We are also seeing a Divine Shield plus Army of the Dead and the Ultimate Evolution on Abathur. I have to admit that since that patch that reduced the cooldown on Ultimate Evolution by 20 seconds, I have not seen Monty the Monstrosity anymore on such high level. It just doesn't happen any longer. We are having a huge attack now up here at the top, where the Immortal is being attacked, and this time Virtus Pro is actually playing this a little bit safer. They still have Avatar at the bot lane, who can try and soak experience, but of course that Khaldor camp here is going to push in eventually if he doesn't take care of that. Up to the top, that's the fight that we've been waiting for. BKB rotates in, great Void Prism against 3 heroes, and they are going in with Zeratul. They have also now the lockdown thanks to Arthur's. A double Zeratul is starting to chase the backline, but they heal for Reyna. He's trying to get away, but he is dead. Now the Divine Palm saved him for a short period of time, but it's still an even exchange as long as Lowell doesn't die. It's a 1-for-1 in this case, so well played by Fnatic, at least for now. They keep their heroes alive. They have Charism still in play. That means they still have their healer, whereas Uther is already dead. Both of the teams with the pressure play against the opponent's Immortal now, but it looks like, at least this time, Virtus Pro is again superior. They take him down, and there's the kill against the Immortal. Really well played. And to the left side, as you can see, there's already a situation where we are now seeing another Bruiser camp pushing in quite hard. Unstable and BKB are currently at the bot lane, still holding the line and experience, but BKB is moving back to make sure that he is just refreshing his mana pool. He can't really do anything without the mana here. They are pressuring the bot lane while the Immortal pushes the top, so it's a very similar play to what they've done with the first Immortal, but this one is of course quite strong and is going to do a lot more damage. It's still only the second Immortal, not even 10 minutes in, so he will be defeated, but at the bot lane that allows a huge timing window now for Virtus Pro to drop not only the well, but maybe even the fort, and they're gonna try. Lowell can't really stop them. He just doesn't have the damage that they need for that. And yeah, that's going to be the first fort of the game that is being eliminated here. So that being said, we're seeing again just like a push from the teams. We're already having up to the top lane. There's Breeze, Whoopi, Kesel and Mene starting to just move back since they realize that Virtus Pro isn't even done yet. They want to go for another tower, and they take that. That also puts them in close range to level 13, which would allow them to get an additional talent. And that's of course what Abathur is currently trying to achieve for them up at the top lane. And it works. I mean, they take him down here. We have now also Frostshot taken to full multi-shot build. Full multi-shot build for them. Relentless on Arthur's. We're seeing the Soma Transference for Abathur, the Wormhole talent taken by Zeratul, and a Shrink Ray even for Uther. That is going to be quite nice if Muradin, for example, jumps into these fights, and you want to make sure that he doesn't really pressure you too hard. For Fnatic, there's very little left than just like trying to get experience. They need level 13 before they can do anything else. It doesn't really look like there's going to be a problem for them, just because Virtus Pro is currently focusing on getting camps on the map. There's also no objective up, so Fnatic will have their next talent once that the objective spawns, and that gives them a Relentless on Charism. They're also seeing now finally the Giant Killer for Reyna, and that is really when Reyna is going to start to dish out quite a bit of damage against Arthur's in particular. He has 16 stacks now on damage. For this map, that's actually solid. It's not too bad. Normally you would expect a bit more here, but as I said, this is Battlefield of Eternity. This is the problem though, and they nearly lose their tank there. Muradin moves away, Void Prison already utilized, a lot of the heroic abilities are in play. We have even a spell shield for Leoric who tries to be safe, but just look at Virtus Pro, they lost a lot of hit points with that engage, and Kesel is trying to just heal everybody here thanks to his skill set, and that works quite well for them. Kuni-chan is still lingering around on the copy for Abathur, but now that is destroyed too. And there's the focus against the Immortal. And by now you can really see that Whoopi is starting to do some damage with his auto attacks. I mean, we only have 16 stacks on the Seasoned Marksman, but still, that's enough to at least hurt Virtus Pro a bit. And Virtus Pro need to be extremely careful, especially, of course, with Arthas now, since Raynor is not going to joke around. Jimmy is going to do quite a bit of work, and now we even have the Hyperion in play, and they're using it already in the back line. There's a quick attempt to focus them down. Mano, of course, now also with the chain bombs. Divine Shield already out there. The kill against Muradin. Nice move by Virtus Pro. Again, they are ahead with 1 kill, but the copy isn't up. Kessel is hunted down though. Oh, Divine palms himself and jumps away, but Lowell is not so lucky. He was just like, well, buying a bit of time for the rest of the team. Him dying is of course still a nuisance, but at least he's going to be back soon. So yeah, he's already cheating death here. 5 kills against 2 in favor of Virtus Pro, and the Russian team moving up to the Immortal up at the top lane. They are going to potentially get another objective, but no, the damage output thanks to Phoenix and Reyna at the bot lane is too high, and now Fnatic for the first time is able to claim the objective here. They are still lagging behind when it comes to experience. Level 14 versus level 15. Breeze is already rotating back. Lowell, of course, trying to give his team more experience up to the top. And maybe with the Immortal now, Fnatic is able to take a few structures down. Maybe that fort. Immortal nearly has no shields, by the way, so he's going to go into melee mode immediately. Yep, there's melee mode already. They're going to try and take the Immortal down. He's hitting hard, but I don't think he's going to hit hard enough to really mitigate the damage dished out by 4 heroes here going straight for him. But they're trying to go for the kill, and a nice Void Prison by Breeze is still there. Leoric is moving over. They're trying to get the kill. Yes, there goes the first fort. So well played by Fnatic already. How much can they actually get here? Abathur is at the top lane, soaking more experience for the Russians, but what Fnatic really needs to do is maybe drop 1 or 2 structures. If they get the wall, then they would also get more experience, so that they head to level 16, since we are seeing their opponent already close to the next talent. There comes the Hyperion. Nice extra damage against the structures now too. Can they even push Keep? I don't really think so. They definitely can't push core, of course. But yeah, they might be able to go for keep. But here comes another big fight once again. And in this case, Divine Palm already used. Kessel is not getting attacked though, but he dies a second later, and Raynor is already dead. It's a triple kill against them. They might even lose Breeze here. Lowell slows everybody down. He sacrifices himself to at least secure Muradin. And Breeze is going to escape here, but that's of course an amazing position now for Virtus Pro. A double Stone Skin that they're using, Benediction, we have Frostman feeds for extra damage on Arthas, and on top of all of that, also the Envenomed Spikes for Abathur. And this could theoretically be a keep. I'm not quite sure if they really have what it takes there. It's only 5 seconds until Raynor is back, and 5 until we're seeing Karazim in play. They take the wall though, and that's already a bit of a help there. But yeah, these talents are pretty sick. One of the reasons, of course, why we're currently seeing Stone Skin taken on Vala and not Blood for Blood, it's actually a bit more popular these days. If you already, like, if you're in a situation where you're not really getting close to a target, when you don't want to go into Blood for Blood range, but you already know that there's a huge damage burst coming against you, like for example thanks to Chain Bomb, then having that Stone Skin can actually help you quite a lot. So that's one of the reasons why Stone Skin occasionally can be better than going into Blood for Blood. It's just pre-damage negation that you have, which is really, really nice. So it's something that they are currently trying to use here. The 16's now in play with the Bullseye, with the Circle of Life, Stone Form, Arcane Barrier, and Renewed Swing. And Renewed Swing, of course, together with Ghastly Reach is really, really nice and interesting. But we still have that experience lead overall for Virtus Pro. And let's find out how Fnatic can actually do in these fights now. Give you an idea, we have Raynor now on 21 additional damage stacks, which is pretty nice. I mean, it's extra damage that you have. It's not amazing or anything just yet, but still, 21 extra damage, that's pretty solid. And the longer the game goes, especially when they hit level 20, his Nexus Frenzy will allow to get a lot of damage out onto the tanks or whatever target they choose to go for. Kessel should try and keep his Divine Palm back until, well, he's being attacked. Wubi, that is, on Raynor. There's a chance that Mane is attacked on Kelthas, but with Arcane Barrier, I really don't think that he's going to have a big problem staying alive. Again, a bit of burst damage thanks to Sefka. Abathur is, of course, really nice with this now too. But both of the teams still aiming for position here. Good stun against Uther, but they're starting to move in. Defending is always easier here than anything else. But they had to take care of the Shaman first, since that camp was doing quite a bit of work. Uh-oh. 3 trapped in the Void Prison. Here comes the attack. They are already using the Hyperion. Nice Hyperion. Wooby is being attacked, but the Divine Palm keeps him alive. He turns around and drops Zeratul, and now Virtus Pro is on the run. A stun against Uther. Unstable is about to die, and I don't really think that Arthas is going to escape here either. He's getting locked down once. He gets locked down twice. The Ghost of Uther is still healing him, but that's a triple kill. This is exactly what Fnatic needed, and they are not even bothering with the Immortal. They're like, why the hell would we go for the Immortal? Let's drop that keep right now and take it down. And they go for it. They take the keep and they try to go for Vala, and Andilendi is super low. They even go for core. They go straight for core here. 17 minutes in. They say they have enough damage. It looks very much like they do, with only Abathur and Vala still alive. Virtus Pro might lose the map right here. They take Vala down, and this is game. This is it. Fnatic, they take game number 1 in the best of 3 series, yet the grand final of the ZOTAC Cup against Virtus Pro. Well played, and they secure themselves the lead in the best of 3 series. Fnatic, they take the lead in the best of 3 series. They're 1 game ahead now, and we have the second game coming up, and it is Blackheart's Bay. We haven't seen this map actually in ages, so I'm personally pretty happy that we finally are back on Blackhearts, and Virtus Pro, they are once again drafting Zeratul in here. This time without the Abathur though, but they are also having now the Kelthas in their midst, and they are running Leoric on this map. But when we're looking at those lineups, the one thing that of course immediately comes to mind is like, oh my god, what is Fnatic doing here? They are running a triple warrior setup together with a Jaina, an Arthas, a Sonya, and the Beastmaster Rexxar in play for the first time in a final here of one of the weekly tournaments. And if you think about it, Rexxar is actually a hero that on a map like Blackhearts should be able to shine quite a bit. He can take all of these camps quite easily thanks to Misha. Can even go for the boss, for example. You can collect the coins and then try to just like turn all of that in so you can play the objective against the opponent. And if you have such a beefy setup like Fnatic currently has, you should also be fine in those team fights. We all know that Zeratul has a bit of an issue if he doesn't have too many targets. And I mean, there's not really too many squishies on the side of Fnatic. If you think about it, there's only Jaina, so to say, and Jaina has a great level 7 talent to make it a bit more difficult for Zeratul to really jump in and do all the damage. Frost Armor is a great tool for that. So it's not going to be easy for Virtus Pro, but they have a chance here. And guys, this might already be the last map of the best of 3 series. Keep that in mind. Virtus Pro, they really have to buckle up right now and make sure that they take this. Let's jump straight into game number 2 on Blackheart's Bay between Fnatic and Virtus Pro. Welcome to game number 2, everybody. We have Fnatic going up against Virtus Pro again, and it is Rexxar time. The Beastmaster with Misha in play. We have for Fnatic, Lol on Sonya, Mena on Jaina, and the man with the mask on... well, it's Breeze, of course. Breeze is playing Rexxar here. He's been playing the hero a ton. We have Kaesel on Uther, Wooby on Arthas, and to the right side of the map with Virtus Pro now, Andilendi on Kelthas, BKB on Leoric, Sefkaje again on Zeratul, Kunichan on Anubarak, and Unstable playing a Karazim. ZOTAC Cup so far has been going in favor of Team Fnatic. They've been doing kind of well there. Apparently Andilendi having a few problems, but that actually gives us a chance to talk about those talents a bit. Look at that level 1. Block on 1 hero, on 2 heroes, on 3 heroes, and the Grizzlebeard, basically Misha block on level 1 for Rexxar. That's something that I didn't really expect that they would take. On this map, actually, it's kind of nice to go for your normal Regeneration Master talent. So I expected, well, maybe at least on Uther, like a Conjurer's Pursuit, and I suppose on Arthas, a Regeneration Master. But that is a very interesting strategy that they're running here. The only hero that went for Globe talent is Jaina, who went for Conjurer's Pursuit. You can get a lot of these out of there, but I guess block is helping you, especially at the earlier stages of the game. So I suppose for now, Fnatic is just going to try and exploit the early game that they have. They burst down the wave in the middle immediately with 4 heroes, and are trying to go straight for that chest that spawns 50 in-game seconds. To the bottom lane, we're seeing Lowell going up against Kunichan, and Sonya can be quite strong in these 1-versus-1 situations. But up here at the top, there's already the fight raging, and it looks like for now, Fnatic gets quite a few coins out of this. BKB rushes back, but Andilendi gets annihilated, and we have at the bot lane 4 coins stolen away by Virtus Pro. They rotated over and took it right there. So in this case, it's 3 coins against 7. Great job by Virtus Pro, actually, getting all of these coins here. and didn't really work out the way that Fnatic was hoping for. Rexxar, of course, a hero that we've seen not really too often in competitive play, but one of the advantages that you really get out of the hero is that in this case you can go for all of these camps on the map quite easily, and that is something that we're probably gonna see Breeze do, which is another reason why I'm personally a bit surprised that he didn't go for that regeneration talent that you have in Rexxar. But nice stun and lockdown here, already well done. Misha even surviving. But yeah, quite the nice move on the side of Fnatic. These talents are still pretty cool. I mean, I like to see something a bit out of the ordinary, and I'm really interested to see how exactly they're going to play the map right now. Because so far they've been focusing more on the rotations between the two lanes up to the top than anything else. But I suppose once that we have the pirate camps in play, they are going to try and take those as well. And that is where Breeze is going to get a lot of those globes. But I suppose that they want to dominate the early game, as I already said. And that's what they're currently trying to do here with another attack against Leoric, and he gets a lot of damage. 9 coins against 5. It's still the score overall in the game, and Sefkaje is already trying to steal a few of the coins away to the left side of the map. Very well done, actually. So bam, down go those pirate camps, and that is additional coins for both of the teams. The bot lane is pressured. Nice stun here by Kuni-chan, immediately cancelling out the whirlwind where Lowell was trying to put some additional pressure in. But Andilendi and Sefkaje are already lying in wait. But we are seeing now Arthurs together with Rexxar starting to take camps up to the top as well. Lowell has to go away, he can't go through, and he gets taken out, loses the coin. Great body blocks there, didn't have Whirlwind available to just move past them, and now we are seeing Whoopi just go straight together with Misha for the camps here. So that will of course secure them not only another camp that is starting to push the lane, but also a few more coins. We have on level 4 now the easy prey taken, and that means that we are seeing well, increased damage against mercenaries, and of course Misha is going to do quite well against all those minions, and not only the minions but mercenaries in general. The cool thing about this is that Breeze is really one of those players that has been putting in like game after game on the hero and knows exactly what he's doing. Great kill here against Leoric again, and that is now 3 kills against 1 in favor of Team Fnatic. But when it comes to the objective and the turn-ins, then we're seeing Virtus Pro doing a lot better right now. So at this game they're starting to move in. Unstable and Andilendi are still the ones protecting the mid lane, but the rotation towards the middle is happening. It's actually interesting that we have once again like one of these talents that is just slightly different for a certain hero. We have seen a lot of those things happening in the past, and in the case of the block talent for Breeze is of course more something that really helps Misha to stay alive than anything else. That's also one of the reasons why the talent isn't even called block, but instead it's just grizzled beer, which I kind of like, by the way. Level 7 is where we are going to see once again the additional talent for the wave clear, the bird of prey, being utilized by Breeze already before. He really knows how to play this hero, and since the hero release he's been spending a ton of time playing him, and he has been experimenting with so many builds. I've seen him play in like scrims for days really. In most of the scrims we were trying to just utilize the hero a bit, and Breeze has been experimenting with the builds, and this is the build that he's the most comfortable with. Of course Jaina going into the Frost Armor on level 7 now, since they are up against the Zeratul player, and this is the anti-melee assassin talent that Jaina has, so that's what they're trying to use to keep her alive. Another talent that I haven't really talked about just yet, but which is super interesting, is that we have Kuni-chan on level 4 going for the Mercenary Lord. And Mercenary Lord in the last patch got actually changed quite a bit and improved at that, because now you take less damage from minions and mercenaries, and that basically combines now 2 talents. We had a talent earlier that did exactly the same thing in the last patch, but now it's combined with Mercenary Lord, and it's something that Kuni-chan is utilizing here. Whoopi goes down. Great gank on the side of Team Virtus Pro. Really well played here. But now with Mercenary Lord, I really want to see what Kuni-chan is able to do here. First of all, of course, it's great for him taking these camps, but even more importantly, they can really just set up a huge pressure play against Fnatic if they execute it well. Fnatic was able to destroy the first fort in the mid lane, though, and of course, with the tribute, or not, well, not the tribute, but also the objective coming into play for the opponent's team, Virtus Pro has at least put some pressure onto the mid lane themselves, but we have not seen them take out one of those forts yet. Bot lane is still being fought over. Kuni-chan is there, and he's going to try to move in for this. Keep in mind that we have also a triple warrior setup here, and the lockdown attempt, but the coins are taken. Misha is a good bear, a really good bear. She collects coins, she likes shiny things, but she turns them over to Rexxar immediately. so he's going to be the one benefiting from every single coin that is being collected by Misha, which is, by the way, also true when we're talking about other maps, like Tomb of the Spider Queen. Heroic abilities are now in play, and that means Wrath of the Berserker. We have the Ring of Frost taken by Jaina, and of course the Army of the Dead, Divine Shield, and also here Bestial Wrath, which is another Misha talent that helps her just go complete rampage in all of these fights. And look at that! There's no Divine Palm. Instead, we're having the 7-sided strike taken for our Monk player here. Karazim with a different... Nice route! What a sick route here! Really well played. Expecting the blink and Whoopi locking down Zeratul, forcing him to use his Void Prison. Locust Swarm was taken, by the way, on the side of Uther. Did not go into the potential Divine Shield here. And we're having next to Phoenix also now the March of the Black King. With Misha and everybody else, they are going straight for the boss up here at the top, and they are bursting him away. It doesn't really look like, yeah, with all those heroics already cooled on, it doesn't really feel like we are seeing Virtus Pro trying to contest this, and just look how fast they can take the boss. But Virtus Pro is still in the lead. They have been able to eliminate the fort up at the top lane. They're having down to the bot lane, now Kuni-chan starting to push the lane in as well, and that means that they are still ahead in experience, and by a pretty solid margin at that. They also have 11 coins that they could use to turn in. So Fnatic is really trying to just like run all of these camps. I really like the way that they're doing it. They're just taking camp after camp, securing themselves some coins. But we have still a slight lead for their opponent, and that is a very solid play that we're seeing there. Whoopi and Breeze are there for the turn-in, and they are going immediately to put some damage on Kuni-chan, who was of course trying to stall for the rest of the team to arrive. We have a bit of a rotation over here. Unstable actually going deep with 5 coins, needs to be careful. The camp at the top lane has been taken down by BKB, Sefkaja and Andilendi, but the turn-in is completed, and that should, at least for now, not quite. Yeah, it should actually drop the top fort as well. But it should at least bring it really close to being eliminated. So that fort should fall. They already pressured the tower before that. Down to the bot lane, Lowell had to use his own heroic ability now. And as you can see, the cannon shots, the barrage is just gonna take this one out. We have currently level 13, and well, in this case, that means that we are seeing finally the chain bombs coming into play for Team Virtus Pro. And with that, it's going to be, of course, a very dangerous team fight now that happens next, since we are having a very melee heavy setup for Fnatic. Chain Bomb is super awesome if you're going up against this many melee characters. I mean, in general, it's an amazing talent, like, don't get me wrong, like, it's really good. But in this case, it's even better. We could even see a potential backdraft on level 7. If Kel'Thas feels safe enough against, like, 4 melee heroes, then he can try and do that. As the other level 13 talents, we're now seeing Crushing Hope, Wormhole, Burning Rage, of course, for Anubarak, and Relentless on the side of Karazim with his 7-sided strike as the heroic ability. We have Mystical Spear for Sonya, not going into Spell Shield, which is interesting considering that they are up against the Kel'Thas. We have 1 Spell Shield on Arthas, who tries to stay alive. And also, again, the Wildfire Bear. So, not Burning Rage, but like the talent variation for Rexxar, which basically just gives Misha Burning Rage. And Misha already moving in. That's a good bear. Moving in already and trying to stun out Kuni-chan. The Void Prism against 3 as well. And a great kill against Arthas. Good isolation. But it looks like Sefka might die. And he has so many coins. But he blinks away. Has the cooldown ready again. Lowell trying to make sure that nobody eats the damage from the chain bomb, but he just moves into range of Misha and passes it on. 21 coins now for Team Virtus Pro. They are the ones to really dominate them, and there's still a chest up here with another 5 coins and 1 hero down. That means that Fnatic won't be able to take it. So controlling the objective is just doing so much better by Virtus Pro right now. They don't have the power on the map to really take as many camps as their opponent. They're trying though, but they are in a position where they just like win these fights now. 3.25 kills against 3 kills overall. And Fnatic is starting, I don't really want to say struggle, because yeah, they're going to lose the fort at the bot lane, but they're still in a position where they're very close in experience and should be able to just like close that gap with 1 team fight that they can decide in their favor if that happens. But for now, they are really falling behind in coins, and that's the big problem. 18 coins are still up for grabs, well, or at least on the side of Team Virtus Pro, so they're not secure yet, and if they win that team fight, they would get the coins as well, but Fnatic has to make a play there, and Virtus Pro so far has been playing quite solid. Lockdown! Oh my god, they burst away Zeratul within seconds. and that allows them to turn in 3 coins. Well, that doesn't really do anything for them, so they have to try and instead just go to the bot lane to drop one of these forts. And to be honest, as long as they get that done, that also means that, of course, their own turn-ins and then their own ghost ship barrages later on are going to do more work towards the inner structures of Virtus Pro, and that's going to be a pretty big asset for them. So that was a very, very important kill that really helps them. I mean, they need to turn in a bit more, but there's another turn-in, by the way, now for Unstable. That's already turn-in number 3 or 4, I want to say. I think, yeah, it's turn-in number 3, actually, for them. And that is going to threaten the keep. That's actually not going to threaten the keep, that's going to drop the keep, or isn't it? It's at least going to be super, super close. And look at that. Virtus Pro is even just moving in. They have the level 16 talent now, and they're saying, like, what are we afraid of? You know what? Nothing. We go in and we take down that keep away from our opponent, unyielding despair, even reducing the cooldown on the crushing hope. We're having also now arcane barrier taken, and Zeratul is, instead of his usual level 16 talent, going into stone skin. And the reason is super simple. He's always getting locked down. They're trying to lock him down, and you need to work against that. That's exactly what he does. He uses a talent that allows him to stay alive a bit longer to get that blink out. Nice attempt at the boss, by the way, up at the top lane here, and they're going to sneak that in. There's no level 16 yet. Oh, there's Misha, and the stun, but they can't move in to claim it. Misha runs back, the boss has been stolen, and with this they now finally reach level 16, but it's already a bit too late. Fnatic is really falling a bit behind, and we didn't really see any big team fights just yet, but it's gonna happen soon. Feigned Death, of course, taken on 16 now for Misha, for Rexxar, one of the best talents that the hero has, by the way. Level 16 talent is Circle of Life, in case they were wondering, so we're not seeing the alternative on level 16 for heals. But we also don't have a level 16 talent yet for Sonya. Stone Skin would be a really nice one for her, and instead it's No Escape. So you get actually the movement speed bonus. They're going for a more aggressive talent, the Northern Exposure, to burst down a few of the targets as well. Here comes the potential fight now, and we have again Phoenix in play with that boss already going straight for keep. Is Fnatic engaging here? They're trying to. The heals are out. The boss is nearly done though, but they can't really lock anybody down. They're going for BKB, but he of course has his Wraith Walk still up and uses it to escape now. But Lowell is attempting to lock them down. Gets stunned out, but can he get the spear? He locks himself in. He has a bit of a speed advantage now, but he can't mount up since that beetle just dropped him off the horse again. 10 coins against 7 in play, and Fnatic is going to try and turn in here. Leoric is rotating to the mid lane, but he's not. Actually, he's going to the bot lane to depush, so it's going to be a completed turn in for Fnatic. And that means that the mid lane is going to be attacked, but they're not going to be able to take down that fort. The fort is not going to fall, but they're going to try and steal a few of the camps away again. And they're already going straight for the Siege Giant camp down here, so that's more coins for them. 6 in total, 12 coins, by the way, in the hands of Virtus Pro. It's all about the team fights at this point. If you can really win one of those, you will get far ahead. And it looks like they're just rotating over here. Wooby sees, of course, Zeratul, but he has no chance of locking him out. We have the camp already taken, so Fnatic cannot do anything here. Should probably take those walls out as well, just to limit the vision of the opponent, but for the same reason we have them taking the watchtower now, so that they make sure that they have the vision here. Again, the lockdown attempt, or well, not lockdown attempt, them getting a few more coins by just moving over here. But that's now 14 coins that we can see turned in. Not 16 just yet. Misha is being moved over. Chests are spawning. Fnatic needs to try and contest those. They can't really allow them to be taken. And they're going down to the bot lane where we have now Andilendi. That's actually everybody except for Nubarak. And Nubarak is still missing. It's a 4 versus 5. And they take the coins. And Nubarak is still busy up at the mid lane, taking the coins on the chests over here. But he needs to rotate back so that they can go for a fight. Or is Fnatic going to go for the hunt here? They're starting to move a bit further up. And no, they're not hunting down Nubarak here. They're rotating into the middle. They have 15 coins. It's not a completed turn-in, but it's getting there. They have already a nice move here by Breeze, sending Misha far out and making sure that he's scouting out a bit what's happening. But Nubarak, the hero with the Mercenary Lord, is still up at the top lane. Now the fight down here is happening, and he's missing, and that's a big problem. Kel'Thas taken out, and they're going now also for the additional damage against Leoric, and it looks like Lowell is going to try and take him on. And yes, there is that quick drop. He uses the spear, and he slams him into the ground. Goodbye, Leoric. That's another coin secured. And one of the big problems was really that Kuni-chan was not with them. But it's a big wave that is headed now to the top lane. And don't forget about this mercenary lord camp that pushed in the bottom lane now as well and is starting to threaten those towers. But Fnatic is again just moving in, and are they really gonna go for core? They go for keep, and yes, they're gonna try and core it here. They're going for the core, and I'm not quite sure if they can really make that happen, but they're gonna try to. So much damage. There comes the Blizzard once again rushing in. The Ring of Frost. They're trying to take somebody down. The 7th Trident Strike. Arthas is dead. Uther about to fall. Zeratul protects the core for now. Breeze is dead, and Lowell too. Wow, a complete wipe, and what a miscall here. What a throw by Fnatic. They finally get the kills that they needed. They are in a position where they can play it slow. They take the keep. They could have taken maybe even a second one, but now there's 27 gems in the hands of their opponents, and Virtus Pro doesn't even have to bother about that. They have their level 20 talents, and they are going for core right now. Fnatic, they win a fight. They take down 3. They are in a great position. They take the keep, which was absolutely legit, but instead of turning in and securing themselves a second keep kill, or maybe even a third, they try to go for the core, and it's not enough, especially with that Zeratul in play, who could delay things. And Virtus Pro ties up the series, and therefore forces game number 3. Well played, GG, and let's go into game number 3. Wow, Fnatic with a massive throw. They have a great position here. At the beginning it started to really be a bit difficult for them to get into the game, because we always saw Virtus Pro a bit faster with those turn-ins, but then there's this big team fight and Fnatic completely annihilates nearly everybody on the side of Virtus Pro. They start to move in, only Vala and Abathar are still alive. They go through the keep and they make the perfect choice here, but instead of just taking the keep in the middle as well and use those 20-something coins to get the objective again twice in a row, for example, eliminate the top keeper as well, and then go for core. They try to finish the game there, and they are way too early with this. The death timer is just not long enough. Zeratul pops out, uses also his Void Prison in this case, and there was absolutely nothing that they could do anymore. Extremely well played there with the defense then, of course, by Virtus Pro, but a big throw from Fnatic, and that could have been the 2-0 victory that they were aiming for. Misha has played a really huge role in that lineup for Fnatic as well, and that could have been their victory, but in the end, as you see, it is a tie in the series, and Virtus Pro, they have a bit of a breather right now. They were probably pretty relieved after that game. We're saying like, alright boys, they kind of gave us this one, but let's make sure that on game number 3 we are going to like pull everything out. Because right now we have also Infernal Shrines coming up. This series is just getting better and better. First we're starting with Misha in game number 2, now suddenly we're having Infernal Shrines coming up. The map is of course still a little bit like, I don't want to say broken, but there's a couple of issues with the map. The Punisher, for example, does too much damage to structures according to Blizzard. They are looking into it right now, but teams can still play the map if they want to, and at this point both of them agreed to play the map. We have for Virtus Pro, again, a very similar setup to what they already used in game number 2. They have that Zeratul, and they also have a Kel'Thas without the front line in Nubarak plus Arthas. When we're looking at Fnatic, haven't I just said a second ago that game is getting better and better and better? We have an ETC and a Tychus for them. Tychus here on the map. The bans, of course, with Leoric and Johanna. Given the objective on Infernal Shrines, it makes sense to ban out those big AoE heroes. But in this case now, we have not only a Jaina, we have also that Tychus. And ETC, if he gets those mosh pits in, that could be exactly what Fnatic needs to claim victory in the series. But Virtus Pro has a dangerous setup. So let's find out together which team is going to take it here on Infernal Shrines and will win the ZOTAC Cup. The last map of the finals in this best of 3 is Infernal Shrines. There are of course still a couple of problems with the map. I mean, the Punisher, for example, seems to be doing too much damage against structures. Blizzard already said that they're going to address this in the near future. But the teams were still willing to play this map. They drafted the maps, and they are absolutely okay playing here on Infernal Shrines as the last one. We have Fnatic to the left side with Lowell on Mirrodin, Whoopi on Tychus this time, and Breeze on ETC, Mena on Jaina, and Kesil on Uther. To the right side of the map, it's the Russians with Anilendi on Kel'Thas. We have BKB on Arthas. There's Kuni-chan on Anubarak, Sefkaja on Zeratul, and Unstable playing Malfurion. Fnatic had a pretty solid position in the last game after they won that big team fight, but then they decided to go way too deep. They killed a fort on Blackheart's Bay, killed the keep, could have probably killed a second one as well, but then they decided to go for core, and that didn't work out at all. Especially, of course, not against a hero like, in this case, Zeratul, who just like delayed them with the additional Void Prison. So for now, we have another time, like we have actually like another opportunity here for Virtus Pro to really just like show their Regeneration Master skills, because they picked the talent on 3 different heroes, Arthur, Zanubarak, and Zeratul. It's very common now these days on Zeratul to go a bit away from the Seasoned Marksman build and to instead go for Regeneration Master to have the additional sustain in lane, and sometimes even on level 7 first aid. But for now, they are playing super safe here. You can really tell that they are fully aware that at some point Uther, Jaina and Muradin are going to try and snipe targets. That's why we are seeing Virtus Pro playing extremely slow. We have in the mid lane Lowell with an attempted stun, but that didn't work out against Zeratul. The level 1 talents with here armored piercing rounds on the side of Tychus. It's of course the overkill talent. No prisoner Tychus skin here, unfortunately. It's actually a fun skin. Received quite a bit of hate, if I remember correctly, when it was announced. It might not be as good as Judgment Uther, which, by the way, is just amazing. But at the same time, I really think that that Prisoner Tychus is pretty fun. 1 minute 30 in-game, we have the first Shrine spawn, in case that you didn't wonder. They are random, by the way, so they don't follow a certain pattern here. And currently, up to the top lane, that's where already both of the teams are headed to take this first objective. Fnatic is rotating very, very slow. Are they even going for it? Doesn't really look like they are trying to. Mena is bursting the wave away in the mid lane. Now they may be trying to secure level 4 first. It's a 3 versus 4 up here. They lost 10 of those minions already. Things are not looking too pretty for them right now in this fight. And with all that AoE, thanks to Arthas and his aura, plus of course Kel'Thas, Virtus Pro is already taking a solid lead when it comes to all of these mini things. They need to win the fight right now, Fnatic that is. If they don't, then they're gonna trail behind fast, and they're trying to get the kill against Kuni-chan, and they're not getting it! Uther dies instead. Kuni-chan is able to get away. Unbelievable that he was able to dive out of this. But Breeze goes in deep, and they go for BKB. They get the kill against him, but Jaina explodes too. Both of the teams on level 4. Low rushes away, but Sefkaja takes him out after the jump. And now the Punisher moving into play for Virtus Pro. Fnatic is already half a level behind, and they are in more than a bit of trouble now. The level 4 talents with the Snowstorm taken on Jaina. We have on level 4 for Tychus the Spray and Pray for the increased range on the overkill, and the double neck guitar as expected for ETC. The first Punisher not really too strong yet. You still can take that bad boy down quite easily if you focus on it. The rest of the team is of course now currently trying to just soak experience on all of the lanes, but in this case now we have still level 6 hitting a bit faster for Team Virtus Pro, and they have a solid lead now in the game thanks to that. They're also now at the top lane with another approach to put additional pressure onto Fnatic by them securing another camp, and it's really good timing for them. They already bursted the wave away in the mid lane, their own wave is moving in, so there was some time where they still had like, you know, that they had a time window where they didn't lose out on any experience or anything, so they just moved up to the top and started to take the camp. And again we are seeing the Mercenary Law talent taken for Anubarak, so this seems to be one of those things that Virtus Pro just does again, and you can already tell that this Mercenary camp is now even stronger than it was before, and in addition, like, that's really nice damage. You deal a lot more damage thanks to that, 50% in total, and if you already have one of the Shaman camps coming in, then of course that's absolutely amazing. Taking less damage from all of these targets is also pretty cool, and that's what Anubarak is currently trying to put to use. We have another camp for Fnatic that's pushing the mid lane. That's actually one of the Siege Giant camps that was taken, the Khazra camp. But at the top lane, the pressure was taken, and now level 7 is ready for Virtus Pro, has been for quite some time, with Kuni-chan waiting with a level 7 talent on Anubarak. Not using it just yet. We have level 7 for Fnatic, and that means Piercing Bolt for Muradin, plus first aid. again, also Frost Armor for Jaina, who wants to be safe against Zeratul. This is a great talent if you're going up against the melee assassin, Zeratul in particular. Another shrine is now spawning, and this time it's the bot shrine, and both of these teams are a lot faster with their rotation right now. But up at the top lane, we're seeing actually Fnatic claiming this camp first, and that's a great opportunity for them to push the top lane. But we have again a slight lead for Virtus Pro when it comes here to the pressure. Fission Bomb plus Bed of Barbs are helping them to secure a lot of these. Nice zoning, and Fnatic just not with the right timing. They are down 20 of those minions already, and that is starting to be a bit of a nuisance. They really need to win the fight, and they need to win it fast, and they are trying to. But Virtus Pro is just rotating a bit faster. They're quicker to the objective, and that is really starting to pay off. Fnatic has to rush in, and they get the kill against Zeratul, but they're still gonna lose out on the objective. It's one of those all-or-nothing objectives, one of those all-or-nothing maps, and that's the second Punisher for Virtus Pro. Yeah, well, this is a map that snowballs real fast, and we've been talking about it. There's also a few known issues with the map, and in this case now, Fnatic is of course trying to do whatever they can. Arcane Punisher is doing a lot of work here, but actually it looks like Fnatic is still going to be able to defend against it. One of the reasons is that we had a lot of mid-game pressure happening from Virtus Pro, because they rotated with the rest of the heroes. They were trying to soak all of the lanes, and in this case Fnatic immediately rotated heroes to meet every single lane where Virtus Pro had one of their heroes pushing in the mid lane, even with the Mercenary Lord. That Khaldor camp didn't really do too much, but it still secures that lead for Team Virtus Pro, where they hit level 10 faster, and there it is. So it's an entire level that Fnatic is behind. Phoenix right away being used. He throws the Phoenix in once that he hits the talent, and we have them now also with the Army of the Dead, with the Locust Swarm, Void Prison, and Tranquility used. Still experience soak everywhere, and Virtus Pro is just mercilessly exploiting the advantages that they have. Especially the talent advantage. They go into the mid lane and they're just saying, hey Fnatic, we dare you, come and try to defend the fort, and we are gonna rip you a new one. Bot lane now, a lot of soaking thanks to Maina. In the top lane we see a similar picture from Judgment Uther, played by Kesil. Level 10 will be ready for Fnatic soon enough. The next fight should happen on level 10 talents for both of the teams. It's very unlikely that Virtus Pro is able to get even farther ahead. The level 10s for Fnatic are now hitting, and in this case that means of course Mosh Pit, Odin, we have the Ring of Frost again, and with those talents, also them having Avatar and Muradin for sustain and the Divine Shield, they're actually very more likely to hit one of those shrines and win one of the fights, since they can finally now put some plays in. But we've seen so far all of the rotations just happen faster from Virtus Pro, and again the push. They let that Khaldor camp be at the bot lane, and they might lose the fort because of it eventually. I actually don't think it's gonna happen. Nah, not this close. The wave is gonna push this back. But again, Virtus Pro is faster. Their rotations are just so much faster. They also get a bit lucky with the positioning of the shrines, to be honest with you. But now here's the entire Fnatic setup starting to move in. They're trying to get this one. Breeze. There's Zeratul. Zeratul needs to be careful. Is detected. Has to move away. Whoopi with the damage. Phoenix not in a good place right now. And ETC was trying to go for the Mosh Pit. Is he gonna use it? Void Prison cancels it out. Lowell jumping away as the Void Prison moves in. The kill against Tychus. Oh my god. That Void Prison was amazing. But they take down Uther. Kel'Thas is dead, but oh my god, that was amazing by Sefka. Great Void Prison there. Breeze was just about to use the Mosh Pit against the two heroes that they put to the wall, but they could not get it through, and then it is just Void Prison in, Tychus down, and from there on everything just goes south. Really well played. Kuni-chan is already moving straight through the mid lane together with the boss. They get another objective, and now this is really the time where things are starting to turn against Fnatic. Before that, they were always in a position where it just looked like they might be able to get these fights, but now they're gonna lose even more structures, and that's level 13 for Virtus Pro. 6 kills against 3. It's just so close in these fights, but Fnatic is now 2 levels behind. That's the third Punisher that they lost, and it was their best chance to come back into the game to take this one. We have already pressure at the bot lane, but Kel'Thas is now rotating over as well. They don't really lose too much against this Punisher here, at least when it comes to the structures around the keep, but they are going to lose out on another camp right there. We have now with the level 13 chain bomb also for Andilendi, and you can imagine how that's going to work out in those closed spaces around the objective. So yeah, things are looking grim for Fnatic. Them coming back into this will need a minor miracle. We have Breeze at the top lane still with the defense there. There's also of course now a nice block for Malfurion, Wormhole for Zeratul, and again, as also in the last games, we are seeing a Nubarak with the additional Burning Rage for the area damage. And all of these talents are going to help them secure more and more of these minions that are spawned by the objective to take them down. They need 30 for one of those Punishers, and they have now Bed of Barbs, the Chain Bomb, together with Fission Bomb that's going to help in this case. We're also seeing Zeratul with his Cleave alone, which is already great, and the Aura on Arthas, which is going to secure them even more. So a very solid position here for Virtus Pro overall, and I suppose that the next objective is going to spawn when we don't have level 13 ready for Fnatic. That's a realistic chance. If Fnatic somehow is able to soak up the experience fast enough, they might be able to win one of those fights. But they have to win the next one. I don't think that they have a chance to fight at all if they lose the next objective as well, because Virtus Pro is already heading into level 16. So suppose Fnatic is able to get 13, which I guess, like, given the position on the map, they will. They still, yeah, they need to get level 13 right now, and then they need to make sure that they win the next fight, or they are like nearly eliminated. Well, but a big push at the bot lane. Wow, is Virtus Pro able to get 16 before this happens? That would be incredible. There's the 13. It's 13 versus 13. Fnatic, it's now or never. They cannot allow additional experience to come in. They have to make something happen right now. And can they? That's the big question. If they win the objective, then it's all good in the hood. If they lose out on this right now, then they are in trouble. They're already using the objective. They go straight for it. There's already Whoopi going immediately for Odin. They're getting the damage in. They have 10 of those minions already. They're trying to get more. They're getting quite a few out there. But we have Virtus Pro starting to move in. Virtus Pro is close to level 16. Very close. Phoenix already used. And that is, of course, helping them. Mena, once again, just like lingering around in the back. He wants to make sure that Zeratul can't really jump him. But this is Virtus Pro securing themselves level 16 and also another Punisher. Wow. Double Stone Skin again, the Arcane Barrier, Imposing Presence, and the Roots on level 16 for Malfurion. Tenacious Roots for him, and this is bad, bad news. At this point, we have Virtus Pro pushing in relentlessly against Fnatic. The Punisher jumps in. It's a 3-level lead, a 2-level lead with the extra talent and the Punisher, and that Punisher is having quite some fun. Arcane Punishers once again, and this keep is a goner. No way to keep it alive with the entirety of Virtus Pro pushing in right now. 6 kills against 3. So it's not really the kill counts that matter here, it's more really about those objectives and the way that Virtus Pro was able to handle them. With them always moving in a bit faster, and that shows just once more, since they are in a position where they have taken a 3-level lead against 3-talent lead. Yeah, well, that's actually something that I've never seen. And they're going straight to the top lane to drop maybe even more. 3 levels behind, and Fnatic is just like trying to get experience, and they're going for BKB. They really commit to him. Breeze can supposedly lock him down. They get the kill, but they also are now in a position where they're going to lose another keep because of that. Arthas against keep. Not quite sure if that was really worth the trade, but still, what else can they do? Virtus Pro reacted quite well here, and now Fnatic is of course just waiting for the next objective to spawn, but let's face it, there's very little that they can do at this point to really win. I guess if they kill a target or a hero just before the objective spawns, that's probably their best shot, turning it into a 4 versus 5 and then taking it from there, forcing a fight. If they can really make that happen, that's a different question though. They're gonna try. I mean, like, they're definitely gonna try. If they can get a kill right now while Arthas is still dead, that might be the only chance for them to really get back into this. They're focusing on the camps now first, but Virtus Pro is actually playing this kind of smart. They were thinking about going for the camp and then decided to go back. They just need to wait for Arthas to be back. Fnatic is desperately trying to get level 16, of course. They have also now a few of the camps moving on the map, but Arthas is back to business. He's on the way right now. Is Kuni-chan really going to try and jump in for this? I don't really think so. There is the objective, and that's another for 30 seconds that they have to get level 16, and I don't think they can. They're close. They're incredibly close, but I don't think they will be able to get it in time. They're already moving up to the top. There's another camp stolen away right now. Level 16 will hit. They actually get it. but can they really make something happen here? I'm not sure, but they have to. They have to try. It's 16 versus 18. It's the best chance that they're going to get here. Echo Paddle probably on 16. Yes, indeed. We're having Northern Exposure. This is all the talents that they have right now. This is it. Now or never. Fnatic with a chance for a comeback. They need to try and make this work right now. Breeze in trouble. They need to get a good mosh pit out. He's jumping in and he's letting them dance. One down. Oh my god, do they actually make it? Ring of Frost, the burst attempt against the Nubarok, and they are about to get him. No, he's getting healed again. But he drops. It's a 3 for 2 though. Oh, and Lowell jumps away, but he is going to die. 4 versus 2 trade and another objective in the hands of their opponents, and Fnatic knows what that means. They have a camp pushing up against them up to the top lane. The Punisher is gonna barrel down bot and drop the last keep, and Virtus Pro cannot just simply move in. It's a 3-level lead again for Virtus Pro. They were down 1 game in the best of 3 series. Fnatic threw it on Blackheart's Bay. They had a very solid position there, but they overextended with an attempt to take down the core and finish it with a 2-0. And now here on Infernal Shrines, Virtus Pro just simply played better. Great game by the Russians, and they take the grand final here at the ZOTAC Cup with a 2-1 victory over Team Fnatic. Congratulations and well played. Virtus Pro successful, and they take the series with a 2-1 against Fnatic. Fnatic just not really in a position where they could take a foothold on the map. They didn't really get those mosh pits that ETC was looking for. They were trying the entire time, but Virtus Pro was just too careful. Those Void Prisons, by the way, were absolutely brilliant. We had one scenario, one fight where ETC nearly got his mosh pit through, and at that point we see Zeratul jumping in, using the Void Prison, and then Fnatic gets just completely wiped. They were falling farther and farther behind. The map is a bit snowbally still, and that's of course something that Virtus Pro exploited here after taking an early lead in the game. Fnatic always trying to claw their way back, but it didn't work out for them, and as I already said, those Void Prisons that we saw here from Zeratul, they were pretty damn good. For Fnatic, of course, a very disappointing series right now. They come in 2nd place, but that's not what they wanted. They had it on game number 2, and then they just made a wrong call there, and now they're paying the price, losing 2 games in a row to Virtus Pro. For Virtus Pro, it's absolutely amazing, of course. They were down 1 game this series, they win 2 matches, and now they are victorious here at the ZOTAC Cup. So congratulations to Virtus Pro, really well played. We had them with some great games, especially, of course, also that match that we saw earlier between Virtus Pro and Alternate Fancy. So congratulations once again. I hope that you guys also enjoyed the series. I mean, we've seen so much stuff here. ETC, Rexxar, Infernal Shrines, Tigers. It was a pretty cool match. If you liked it, make sure that you hit that thumbs up button on YouTube, hit that thing hard, and I'm going to see you guys next time with more Heroes of the Storm content on KhaldorTV. So see you guys soon, and thank you very much for tuning in today. Bye bye.